Okay, on today's episode, I'm speaking with Pete and Tim from the band Pickle Juice. Pickle Juice are based in Revelstoke, British Columbia, and they've got a brand new EP out called The Whiteroom. You can check out their tunes, merch, videos, and everything else, including links to their socials at their website, picklejuiceband.com. And of course, you can stream the new EP wherever you get your streaming services. All right, here we go, my chat with Tim and Pete from Pickle Juice. All right, thanks a lot for coming on the show today, Pete and Tim. I appreciate you guys giving me some of your time.
Yeah, thank you for having us.
So the Whiteroom EP, second EP from Pickle Juice. One thing I noticed right away listening to this EP beside your first EP is the growth in the songwriting. And I don't know if maybe the direction's a little more focused or something like that, but I'd love to hear kind of maybe how you approached this EP differently, or maybe what the mindset was going into this one.
I think we approached it the same as we approached the last one. So I kind of write like a basic structure in the lyrics, and then I bring it to the boys, and then together we like collaboratively restructure it or make adjustments, or people write their own parts. But I think that the reason why it feels more dynamic is because we're more confident at this one. The first EP was like it was almost like we had to prove to ourselves that we could write music and assemble a work of a body of work. Whereas now we're all confident in ourselves, and we're all bringing our own influences and our own ideas to the table.
Yeah, for sure. And just to add to that, I think with this EP, we knew we wanted to make a kind of a collection of work rather than individual songs. When it came to choosing the songs for the EP, we definitely had that in mind. We had a bunch to choose from, so we kind of chose the ones that we felt would flow and fit the best together. That was a significant different approach from the last EP? Yeah, the last time round, it was mainly like as soon as we got the songs, we were in our infancy as a band. So yeah, we were just super eager to get them out there, get them recorded. So we recorded, I think, 3 different times, or 2 different times. Whereas, yeah, this one we just did in one sitting. And Tim, you mentioned that you were more comfortable with each other. So when you the EP, was that written pretty early on in the band's career?
The first EP?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'd written that one pretty early on. I think we started off with no intentions to write. Like, we started off as a open mic night band that then became like a cover band, and then slowly we got more and more into it. So yeah, I think it was like a proof of concept EP in a way. Yeah.
Pete, you have experience gigging with Hazels over in the UK, is that right?
Yes, yeah. We did a bunch of gigs in my early 20s. We all used to live together, so it was a fun time.
Did you bring some of that experience with you to the band? Like, were you kind of did the band kind of lean on that experience to help push things along in the beginning?
I think so. When it came to the songwriting side of things, like, all the lads in the band are super talented, but they, I think, just lacked a little bit of belief that they could actually write songs and do it together in a band. I don't think I've done too much, but just kind of push things along in the right direction and try to give that confidence to the guys.
Do you have a different take on that, Tim? I'd like to hear your point of view.
I think Pete's got a really a holistic approach to songwriting, whereas for me, I'm very much about the melody and the lyrics. And Pete's experience has given him the ability to hear a part and hear a whole song at the same time, and kind of see where things are going to go. And it's great writing with him because I can bounce an idea off him, and he can see the bigger picture, and he can communicate the bigger picture. And I think a lot of that comes from his experience playing in bands when he was younger, for sure.
Yeah, since we've touched on the songwriting, I wouldn't mind, let's dive into a couple of the tunes that kind of popped out at me, if you don't mind letting me dissect a couple things here.
Sure.
Right out of the gates, the opening track Dogma does something that I particularly enjoy is, or how I hear it anyway, is kind of the song moves along, verse, chorus, bridge, and you think there's going to be a final chorus, but that kind of final chorus never arrives, and it just kind of leaves you wanting a little bit more. Like I might as well hit replay on this tune. And I'm just kind of curious if that sort of idea comes about naturally or instinctually, or if that's kind of like planned for that tune in particular.
I think from my recollection of writing and coming up with the structure and stuff for that one, I think it just kind of naturally flowed to that point. We did have a couple of different renditions of it, and I think the bridge was something we were struggling with for a little bit, or trying to figure out the best way to do it. But when we got to where we got with it, it just had a natural conclusion. But it wasn't, I don't think we kind of planned to not go back into the chorus, and just kind of worked out that way.
Is it usually pretty feeling based when you're writing tunes?
Yeah, I think so. Like Tim said, he tends to come up with the skeleton, and then when he brings it to the band, we'll try and change that from like an acoustic song. And things tend to get jigged around a little bit, and we always have 5 lads with different opinions on where it should go. But I think in the end it's just a feeling thing, and songs tend to take different directions to where we first envisaged them going.
Yeah, Pete just mentioned acoustic guitar, so you approach the band like kind of a singer-songwriter vibe with a song kind of fleshed out, or?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah, I have been writing songs since I was a teenager, and it was always just me with an acoustic. So in the early days, definitely and I think the early songs too feel like they're kind of like a singer-songwriter song with in like rock and roll drag. Whereas I'm definitely starting to change my approach to writing more now, and getting different influences just by, rather than just strumming with an acoustic, messing around we have like a shed that we rent, messing around in the shed with different sounds and stuff helps me come up with different melodies and go down different paths. So that was it was definitely singer-songwriter-y in the early days, and that's still very much ingrained in me, but it's starting to evolve as I'm exposed to more and more things, which is sweet.
Does any of that evolution come from trusting the members more, or giving them a little more space to do their own thing, or?
Yeah, and also just from understanding how to work in a 5-piece and where to leave space for other people and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
because what kind of, as you were speaking, what it made me think of is like track 2, I Don't Want to Wait. Especially in verse 2, where it comes back and there's that guitar riff or lead line. It's kind of a lead line, but there's 2 different guitar lines going on at the same time that the verse vocals are happening. And that's a neat approach. Like, how do you just let the guitar players kind of do their thing underneath your vocal melody?
Yeah. Basically like that rhythm part, I like the dum 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 da 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 dum da da dum. I kind of put that together. So that and the melody was what I brought forth. And then over time, we just trial and error different things, and we try to get our songs to a point that we can play them live, and then we do a lot of experimenting while we're playing them.
Yeah, it's always fun to listen back to recordings of songs when they first came together, and then they sound like completely different songs to the recorded version. Even when we played them live, there's a lot of different renditions we tend to go with, and just kind of get there eventually.
So you road test them, or you show test them before you put them down to tape? Yeah,
and because with this EP especially, we came to it with. We had about 10 songs written, and then we just cut it down to our top 5. So it's just really good to feel the energy of an audience and how they react to a song. That helps us kind of make the decision as to which 5 made it through. Yeah, 'cause we're definitely like a live band first and foremost, right?
You mentioned energy, and that makes me think of drums too, because drums are so important to a song's energy, generally, depending on the genre, of course. But so, like Pete, when you're listening back, you mentioned listening back to old recordings too. Are there moments where your drums, the energy of your drums, kind of like catch you off guard, and you realize like maybe you've had the wrong approach in this particular section, and it ends up changing for the recording?
Yeah, well, for Dogma, the first track, it was kind of the other way. I had an old recording of how it sounds on the actual recorded version. But yeah, I was digging through, trying to remember the tracks and whatnot, and I was like, this sounds way better than what I'm doing now. So I went back to one of the old versions of it, and yeah, it was an energy thing. A faster pace and a double beat on the snare just seemed to fit the song a little bit more. But yeah,
is that something? Sorry, go ahead.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, keep going.
I was just going to say with I Don't Want to Wait For You, the guitar part, I think that you were referencing was from Ben. I think he actually came up with that in the studio. And it was just if it's a sort of shoegazy style part, then yeah, I think it was just a tone thing, and he started messing around with it, and yeah, it worked on the day.
Cool. Yeah. Now that you say shoegaze, I can hear that now. At first, I was thinking like math rocky kind of stuff, but now that you've mentioned shoegaze, shoegaze, this is kind of an aside, but shoegaze was a little more popular in the UK than it kind of happened over here in North America.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, there was definitely a shoegaze era over here.
Uh-huh. So thinking too about energy, just a little more on this energy thing. When you're in the studio, does that give you a different? Like, I'm kind of curious how the energy is perceived when you're in the studio listening back to your drum tracks. So that's assuming you lay the drum tracks first. I'm kind of making that assumption in my mind. But yeah, like how does that feel to hear back that energy? And are there any moments where you're like, oh my God, this has got to change. Like we got to switch this up right away.
Yeah, we dropped the bass and the drums together, and yeah, I think capturing that energy, that is the main thing for me. I want to have that driving beat and something that slaps you in the face. Don't often get that, so yeah, I go back in the studio and I'm quite nitpicky. So I'll listen to it back and I want to redo it, or yeah, I want to capture the energy as much as I can, but usually takes a few takes.
Tim, in the studio, do you usually give them a guide track or scratch vocal so they can kind of play off that?
Yeah, we'll do a scratch. I'll do a scratch with the rhythm, with Ben, who plays rhythm guitar, and then that's what they play off. Yeah.
I know there's no guitar players in the chat here, but I was curious about the tone. The beginning of the tune, A Little More Time. Do you guys remember how the tone of that came together on the way it opens? Because it's kind of like this dirty, cloudy, clean tone. That's pretty fascinating, really.
Tom, so we have two bass players who swap between rhythm and bass.
Okay.
Initially, like all three guitar players were swapping around because, like I said, we didn't start this band to do anything other than just have fun, right? But yeah, now it's kind of settled into those two swapping, and so A Little More Time is Tom playing rhythm, and he plays rhythm in Dogma too, and then Ben plays it on all the other tracks. I don't specifically remember how they came to that tone, but I remember it being like a bit of a discussion. Tom grew up listening to a lot of like pop punk and really likes like that heavy kind of gritty tone. And Ben grew up listening to more like Aussie surf rock and things like the Strokes, and he's more of the pedal nerd. Like he really like hones in on sounds, and so there was definitely a thing in the studio there where they were like, I don't want to say clashing, but trying to find the right sound that everyone was happy with. But our producer David is a bit of a sound wizard too, so he was also involved in that debacle.
So there sounds like there was some compromising that had to happen.
Yeah, there's always compromising with five guys, isn't there?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, very true. Well, whatever happened, it worked out. I thought I love that tone. To be honest, it kind of sticks out. Like it's like strange but familiar, like clean but dirty. I don't know. It just kind of sits in that space.
For sure.
I mean, I pretty much have to ask about the snowboarding culture that's mixed into the record. I mean, the title of the album, The Whiteroom. Also in Revelstoke, my old band, we toured through BC years ago, and we got stranded in Revelstoke after a snowstorm. So we had to hang in our van overnight.
Revelstoke.
Revelstoke, is that what you just said?
That's what we call it.
Yeah, that was definitely for us. Yeah. We were at a Denny's, or I don't know if there's an all-night diner there or something, but
Yeah, that's a Denny's, yeah.
yeah, we were hanging out there till like 1 or 2 in the morning or something. Anyway, so what's the vibe there? Do you want to just talk generally about that? How the snowboarding culture affects the music or the band or anything?
Yeah, the main way, I guess, the snowboarding culture is just so like multicultural. You know, like so many people in Revelstoke from all around the world, and in our band in particular, I'm the resident Canadian, and then there's 2 Brits and 2 Aussies, and so I think that like mix mash of influences and like what was popular in the different countries we were at when we were growing up gives us all like slightly different tastes in music, and so I think kind of like what we were saying with the pedals, all our like influences come together to meet in the middle. Yeah, that's probably the main thing. And then the other thing would be like the live energy that you get from ski towns, because everybody's keen to get after it. And so, you know, right from the very beginning, we've been lucky enough to be playing to like full rooms that maybe we shouldn't have been playing to, because
People are just keen.
But people are just keen, and people are ready to crowd surf and mosh and have a good time. And that gave us a lot of confidence in the early days.
Okay, now that you say that, it seems obvious that a ski town or would attract people with high energy. So they're kind of looking for that adrenaline, that kind of like go out and get it lifestyle.
Yeah.
And Pete, is that why you moved to BC or Canada in general? Was it to chase the skiing or snowboarding?
It wasn't specifically for that. It was something that I wanted to do, but I wasn't moving here for the snowboarding. But yeah, I just wanted to go and experience Canada and change of pace to COVID in the UK. Do some travel, and then I also got Revelstoke. So yeah.
Revelstoke for a few years.
3.5 years now.
That's cool though. You guys are like a Commonwealth band. 2 Aussies, 2 Brits, and a Canadian.
Yeah, our working band name in the early days was Commonwealth Culture Club.
Oh yeah, Commonwealth Culture Club. That's cool. That's fun.
Yeah.
Okay. So gigging in BC, if I remember correctly, the drives between gigs can be pretty long, right? Do you guys gig around quite a bit still?
We've been touring a lot over the past 3 years. We did a tour in spring at the May time, and then we've kind of been doing one the past few weekends here, just making it work with work, because we've all got jobs outside. We just did, what did we do? Invermere, Cranbrook and Nelson, so that's about 4 hours drive between each one.
Mm-hmm.
And then we just did Calgary and Lethbridge as well, so that was about 15 hours of driving or something like that.
Yeah.
So it's a lot of time together in the truck.
Got an
we enjoy it.
That doesn't have a C, and all 5 of us pile up into that thing, and then we hit the road and get on each other's nerves. And
you said no AC, no climate control.
Well, it's one side blows cold air, one side blows hot air.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Like really, really hot air. So there's a no AC policy.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
The driver's all right, but passengers, it's not ideal.
You got to keep the driver happy, right? Does the driver driver gets to choose the music? How do you guys manage that?
Well,
Lately, just headphones.
Headphones? Oh yeah. Okay.
Tim always likes to. Tim usually drives. He does a lot of the longer stints. And there's an ongoing joke of him turning the volume down on the music to start telling us some old stories. So yeah.
Just to keep things like, you like it quiet, Tim, or you just like to you like to tell stories like the.
I just like to talk. Keeps me awake.
You're in the radio biz too, right? So is that why you like to talk?
Yeah, I work for Stoke FM, but I'm actually not on the air. I'm behind the scenes.
You're behind the scenes. Oh, okay.
But I mean,
Should be.
I should be on the mic.
Yeah, you like to talk. Why not? Let's talk briefly about your music videos. You guys got three or four out now for the new EP, right?
Yeah, 3 for the new EP. Yeah.
And I know there was a cool one. I read up a little bit on it about the. Of course, we just said the title, and now it's like slipped from my brain. But the one with the interpretive dancing in the video.
Yeah. A little more time. Yeah.
A little more time. Yeah. And you want to talk about that story a little bit? It sounded like it was a collaborative between like a dance troupe there in the city.
Obviously, Revelstoke's small, tight knit community.
Mm-hmm.
So we made for our original EP, we had a song called "I Don't Like You," and we got together with a bunch of the senior citizens in town and made like a really fun video where they were just harassing people. And through that, music video did really well because people in the community were sharing it. Because it was like their grandmother and their, dad and stuff like that. And we've been able to build a really good relationship with a lot of the senior citizens that were in that video. They come to our shows and they jump up on stage with us when we play that song. And so that kind of inspired us to start thinking of other ways that we could involve the community. And that led us to, contacting the dance studio in town and doing a music video with them. So they got their like a competition group that like travel around all summer and compete, and they had like one weekend free, and they were able to put together a choreography for that song, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it seems like it turned out pretty well, and it's kind of a heavier song, isn't it? Like the topic's a little heavier than it may sound.
Yeah. It's a little more time, right? It's about like it's for those people that aren't with us anymore. So,
mm-hmm. Yeah. I really dug it. Anyway, I like the whole EP, to be honest. Like, it's pretty solid listen. I'm glad I was suggested to check it out and speak with you dudes. You guys have any plans? I know you mentioned real jobs, and of course, do you have any plans to head across the country or anything like that?
Yeah, well, I think in maybe like next summer-ish, we're kind of starting to look towards trying to get some grants to help us do that. Mm-hmm. Right now we've got one more gig this summer, and then we're going to take a bit of a hiatus and try and work towards writing an album.
Okay.
Lots in the works, just not really sure on timelines right now.
Yeah, gotcha. The 5 songs that got cut from this EP, are they cut for good, or do you imagine they'll come back and maybe show up on the record?
Yeah, I don't think they're cut for good. Like we still play them live, and I still like them. It's just a case of like finding where they fit. What's
the best place to send my listeners to check you out and grab the record, or where do you prefer?
picklejuiceband.com. If you go there, then there's links to all our socials, and it's the same tag as well. If you're going to go straight to Instagram or straight to TikTok or whatever, it's just Pickle Juice Band.
And are the records available in physically, or is it do you have a Bandcamp, or what? If people want to buy the actual music,
we do not. You can stream it, or you can buy it on Apple Music if you want to actually buy it. But no, we don't have any physical copies yet.
Well, thanks a lot for coming on the show today, guys. I really appreciate it. If there's anything you want to plug, anything else you want to mention, feel free.
Yeah, no, I think I don't think so. But thank you so much for having us.
No problem.
Yeah, thanks a lot for having us on.
Yeah, you're very welcome. And I recommend everyone check out the Whiteroom. Great EP. And yeah, thanks a lot for coming on the show.
Awesome.
Cheers.